The serve toss can be a difficult thing to master, and this happens to be the biggest problem on the serve at the recreational level, and the toss is so complex that even some professional players have trouble with it. So what better time to practice your toss than now? In today's video, I'm going to give you some realistic toss drills that you can do in the safety of your home that will give you a good chance to improve your tossing technique. And one thing you should never do when practicing your toss is isolating the toss arm. So if you just stand and toss the ball up without doing anything else, it's actually quite easy to get a consistent toss. But as soon as you involve your dominant arm, all of a sudden the toss has a tendency to start going bad. And the reason is that we're doing two separate actions with the toss arm and the hitting arm. So by going up with the toss arm and going back with the hitting arm, this makes the toss a lot more difficult. And the first exercise you can do at home involves both the toss arm and the hitting arm, and you don't even need a racket. So basically you're going to toss the ball at 1 o'clock and then you're going to catch the ball with your hand. And you can do this until you get consistent at it. And what I suggest that you do 10 in a row, and this is going to work on you getting a more consistent and accurate toss. And you also are working a little bit on your coordination by catching the ball up on top. Once you've done this a few times, now you are going to take your racket and you're going to practice toss locations. So basically, if you're practicing a kick serve toss, you should leave it at 12 o'clock. If you're practicing a flat serve toss, you should leave the ball at 1 o'clock. And this is also the case for the slice. Now you can, of course, hit all three serves from the 12 o'clock position. Now the toss technique that I recommend is the diagonal toss arm technique. So you're going to go into your stance and your front foot is going to be diagonally pointing towards the side, and now your toss arm is going to go along your front foot, and now you're going to get a slight arc in your toss as you're throwing the ball up, and the ball should land at 12 o'clock. Now while you're doing this, I do want you to take your racket back as your toss arm goes up, just to make the toss practice more realistic. In addition to the toss location, you can also practice throwing the toss in front of the baseline. So basically, you can set up a trash can right in front of your front foot, and it's just basically take the ball and make it land inside the trash can. And when you have a target like this, it makes the toss practice a lot more fun, and I recommend that you do this until you get 20 balls into the trash can. So that was actually in, but it bounced out. Okay, another one, and let me try one more. And I got 3 out of 3. You can get a lot of benefits on your serve by having sufficient height on your toss. So a good way to practice is getting a ladder, placing the trash can on the ladder, and you get nice and close to the ladder, and now simply execute your toss and try to get it into the trash can. And once you master these drills, you can proceed to a full body motion. And sometimes when we involve the whole body and we go through our rhythm, that can throw the toss off quite a bit because we're transferring the weight, and it does influence the toss in different ways. So what I recommend is, without actually hitting the ball, you go through your whole service rhythm. So whatever the rhythm may be, you just replicate your serve and you just don't hit it. You stop right at the moment of contact and you kind of freeze the motion. So this will replicate the body actions that sometimes can throw the toss off quite a bit. It does feel a little bit awkward stopping and not hitting the ball, but it does help the toss because it's in the most realistic context of the service motion. Let me try one more. I'm going to go through my entire rhythm, but I'm just going to stop right before the contact. Guys, if you do these drills 10 to 15 minutes every day, once you get back on the court, there's a good chance that you're going to be tossing the ball a lot more consistently.